Hi class, my name is Liz Dunbar Martin. Some of you have had me in class online before and some of you have not, but it's nice to see you all and meet you all, sort of see you, but I'll see you on the synchronous sessions soon. Welcome to 641. It's Advanced Social Work Practice, which is a macro level course, so we're going to be thinking larger picture in terms of the human service organizations and not-for-profit management and what goes on within those organizations on an operational level as we move forward with the course. So within an organization and within life, leadership is a role that we assume and probably have already assumed in our lives at different times and haven't realized it maybe. And so we will expose that and do some self-awareness work around that about our individual, and then also read the leadership book and process through a leadership paper and the obituary process of that assignment, which also runs in tandem with the larger project of the community-based organizations. And that assignment is twofold in that I hope that you notice the teamwork piece of it, and we will get a little bit more into engagement and what your role is on a team using the Competing Values Framework by Quinn out of the University of Michigan. And then we also conclude with, or kind of run in tandem toward the end of the semester with the grant writing process and the community-based organization project because it goes throughout the whole semester. Both of those last two assignments that I mentioned are heavily weighted in your grade, and they're not one to wait till the end to try and do. I've had some students do that and they're completely overwhelmed. So just make sure as you go along that you keep up with it. Stay task-oriented with your teamwork, keeping up with your agenda and meeting items, and then collecting the information that you need for your presentation. We also talk about not-for-profit management, like I mentioned, and humanizing the organization, and what organizations are today versus what they used to be management style-wise prior to the information highway. And then each week you'll have a soft chalk lesson that you'll need to complete within the weekly folder. This is part of your class participation grade. In some cases, like this week, we're introducing ourselves as part of the blog. We will sometimes have journal assignments or blogs per week, and those are also part of your class participation grade. It's a big part of your grade, 20%. Please make sure you stay on task with that. When you complete a soft chalk lecture, that information is sent to me via email, and I've seen what you've done on the assignment, and if I feel like you're way off on the topic or your response to some of the questions or quizzes, I will email you back and give you feedback. Otherwise, I don't do a whole lot of feedback on those. Those are really for your processing pieces, as if we were meeting in person in class. It's a way to get you interacting and interfacing with a lecture. So with that, I'm going to share a little introduction about myself. I'm a native of Louisville. I still live here today, obviously. I teach from my home. So in the background, you'll see my little home office. It doesn't probably look like the university. I'm a part-time faculty, so I work from home. And from a business model point of view, the university does quite well with this concept in that I own my equipment. They hire me for my time and my teaching skill, but they don't have to pay what's called indirect costs. So when you get to your budgets in the grant writing process, in that grant assignment, indirect costs is a really interesting thing because every time I would walk into a building and facilitate an in-person class, I use their space at the university, I use electricity and power, and I use their equipment. So when in grant writing, there's oftentimes a line item for indirect costs, and that's what that means. So the way the university gets good and a substantial number of instructors is to subcontract us out, and that's the role that I'm in, although I'm at the university quite a bit. So I am a native Louisvillian, like I said. I grew up here. I went to Boston College for my undergraduate degree. I'm a public school graduate from the JCPS system here in Louisville. After Boston College, I went and skied for a year in Colorado, and then I moved back to Louisville and went to the Kent School myself. So I'm a graduate of the Kent School. My field placements within the Kent School, I came to the university or in the social work school thinking I wanted to do direct practice and work with clients one-on-one. I slowly and quickly, by the end of the first semester, realized I'm much better at the macro social work piece, in that my mind thinks much bigger and how cogs are turning or not turning within a social service delivery system or within a human service organization. So management is something, a role I found myself in quite a bit. And you will too. I say this all the time to students, but with the letters MSW after your name, you'll find yourself moving quickly to supervisor roles. And we want to make sure you're prepared for some of that and what that means. And so we'll touch on that a lot in this class this semester. Because we'll go over board of director roles, executive director roles, and then the impact that they have on the organization and the vision of the organization, and how to write a mission statement for an organization and manage a grant and budget and so on and so forth. After that, graduated from the Kent School. My field placements were at Kentucky Youth Advocates, and my second one was in Washington, D.C. at the Children's Defense Fund. So for a long portion of my career, I was a child advocate on the national and state level, and then moved into community-based work here in the city on the metro level, which actually involved federal and state monies on some projects that I worked on. So I'm very familiar with all three levels of government and how they operate, and how to work within government and not-for-profit organizations and partner them with their local university like U of L, because U of L receives public funds. They should be good partners, right, with their community. And so that might come up with your community-based organization assignment as well. So keep that in mind in terms of a resource, or maybe a place to build your grant writing concept as you move forward. So that's that. I have been at the Kent School teaching on and off since 2004. For 9 years prior to that, I ran a child welfare training program for 9 years through the Kent School in partnership with Child Protective Services. So with that, I hope you have a nice semester. It's going to be a fast summer. It's accelerated. It's not 14 weeks like a normal class schedule. It's 10. So we will be moving quickly. I will send an email, but I'll remind you now to click on the groups button, which will be at the bottom left side of the Blackboard shell a little later today. And it will automatically assign you to your community-based organization group so that we can get moving on that. So with that, I hope we hit the ground running quickly. Please don't hesitate to email me with questions or comments. Thanks, and have a good week.